it right here to the United States.
Yeah.
These are serious issues. And the nuclear power plant in Ukraine services much of the power and energy for Eastern Europe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is not a localized situation. So this should be of profound concern and ought to be talked about and debated and discussed. And certainly dealing with Vladimir Putin is not getting any easier.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And there may be those of us who are listening who were not alive when Chernobyl happened. You know, I was a little too young to remember 3 Mile Island, but I was old enough to remember Chernobyl and know what was going on at that time. If you have not had the opportunity to do so yet, I would urge you to see the Showtime production of a miniseries of Chernobyl. It is an incredibly disturbing and moving reenactment of what happened during that disaster, and that could be replicated, and we could face threats on a global level that we do not want to see, and the repercussions of that were horrific for people over a widespread area of that region, you know, in terms of cancer rates and just devastation of the immediate region.
We've felt the effect here because we have a lot of people from Ukraine who moved to the United States.
Right.
They are cancer patients right here in the United States, people who immigrated to this country legally, and who now require that kind of medical care.
Yeah. And in terms of actually getting that additional aid to Ukraine to make sure that this disaster does not continue, Speaker Johnson continues to be in a very difficult position. I believe members of Congress are coming back, and he is under threat again of losing his job because of folks like Marjorie Taylor Greene.
You're absolutely right. The fact that the House of Representatives is paralyzed, not only on aid to Ukraine, but aid to Israel, aid to Taiwan, this is something that should shake us. And if I were the Democrats planning the campaign of 2024 for control of the House, I would do what Harry Truman did in 1948. I'd run against that good-for-nothing Republican Congress that have been unable to accomplish anything. I don't know whether Speaker Johnson will be toppled, but I can tell you I believe very strongly that Hakeem Jeffries will, after the next election, be the Speaker of the House of Representatives. I just don't think the Republicans have the traction and the record to maintain that leadership.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that is likely to be the case, although I think there's a chance that if they push the matter, Hakeem Jeffries could probably be Speaker of the House before the election. They should definitely wait on that. I mean, for the purposes of the election, use the fact that the Republicans are there and that they are in turmoil as a way of driving participation in the election and engagement.
Yeah, but the Democrats don't have the votes right now to elect Hakeem Jeffries. And so it would require a number of Republicans to leave and Democrats to replace them. So I'm not counting on that at all.
I would not. I wouldn't count on it, and I wouldn't do it if they had the chance to do it, because I think, as you say, after the election there will be a clear, slight majority for the Democrats.
And by the way, you heard, and I thought this was one of the most significant statements made in recent times by the Senate minority leader. Mm-hmm. Mitch McConnell has said that he will devote the rest of his time in the Senate, among other issues, to making sure the Republican Party doesn't become an isolationist party. He intends to exercise what skill and effectiveness he has when he retires as leader to ensure that that is the case.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that there's somebody in place, in his wake, because I'm not particularly seeing anybody on the horizon.
There's the three Johns.
Well,
the three Johns who are all running.
I hope so, and I hope that one of them is, in the eventuality that Donald Trump becomes president, able to stand up so that we are able to weather that contingency in a way that will not destroy our international relationships, because he has said
not one of those potential Republican leaders, not to interrupt you, but not one of those potential Republican leaders of the Senate will stand up to Donald Trump. As things stand today.
Yeah, no, that's disturbing.
And speaking of Donald Trump, he's got his problems. He's going into court. I mean, it's a done deal. That trial is going to start shortly. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Yeah. Well, next week, we will be on the very doorstep of that because April 15th, as you mentioned, it may be tax day for us, but it will be a taxing day for Donald Trump because he's going to be.
Wait a minute, the puns are my responsibility, not yours.
John, as ever, it is a pleasure to have you here on Facepalm America. Please give a listen to Around the Political World with John Rothmann. He will give you a weekday's worth of insights, Monday through Friday. In addition to that, little special packages of wisdom and goodness. Please be attentive to that. Find Around the Political World with John Rothmann on any podcasting platform. It is there. And as always, thank you so much for being with us today on Facepalm America.
My pleasure, Beowulf, and good luck on finding that neighbor with all those billions.
John, won't you be my neighbor?
See you soon.
See ya. Thank you so much for listening to the show today. It is much appreciated, as always. You can find out more about the company that produces this show on twosquaredmediaproductions.com. That's TWO squaredmediaproductions.com. Ace Elson and Rosabelle Hine are the producers of the show. And you can go, as I mentioned earlier, to facepalmamerica.com for more information and back episodes. Please take a link to this show and share it on your social media. Let other people know about it. It really helps what we do. And until next time, enjoy the day.